Welcome back. Well, it's not the case anymore, but round 22 has traditionally been the last of the home and away season, a time when sides jostled frantically for spots in the finals. Today we're going to focus on one year in particular, but also on a couple of memorable moments from games from other years. Let's go back in time because like the shorts so tight they made the biggest men sound like choir boys, so are the rounds of our lives. Okay, well, let's start with those individual moments, Finey, because we had a goal of the year, and a mark of the, not only a mark of the year, but a mark of the century taken in the last round of a season, round 22. Let's start at the SCG. The year is 1990. Sydney are playing Richmond. Richmond are at a pretty low ebb and they're getting smashed, but they do get a highlight late in the piece when a Indigenous star called Michael Mitchell pulls this off.
The top cloak, some spring there, knocked on by Smith, taken by Mitchell, some speed here, look at him go. Michael Mitchell, a third bounce, he's running towards the 50, He wants to kick a goal, no question about that. Watch this. I want a goal, Michael Mitchell says to himself.
Oh, great effort. That's not goal of the day, I'll walk home.
And maybe goal of the year. What a solo effort off the back end of the square. Look, here he is, 50-metre line at the other end of the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And bang, through it goes.
Terrific.
Okay, two things we learned from that footage. One, Don Scott can count. And secondly, I'm an idiot because Richmond were actually pantsing Sydney in that game. And many apologies, Tiger fans. I just presumed that Sydney, I'd forgotten that Sydney were actually, once upon a time, not very good, Fine.
Two facts about that goal that I love so much. I mean, Michael Mitchell also won a mark of the year. He took a great mark.
Same year.
Took a great mark in WA.
Oh, and he took one against Fitzroy at the MCG that same year that got mark of the year.
But two things about the goal. That change of direction was just breathtaking. He also started his run 5 metres inside the 50-metre line and kicked it from 30 metres out. Do the math at the SCG. He took 7 bounces. 4 too many.
Yeah.
He
like
just
he was playing basketball.
It was hilarious. Boing, 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 boing.
Yeah, okay, well, let's move on. Our next moment is from the Gabba. The year is 1995. Again, last round of a season. Sean Smith, a noted high flyer, Finey. He's already taken several speckies in his career. But this mark was actually judged the mark of the century. Let's have a look at it.
Chip okay to Neeks at 50. They need a goal, the Demons. 7-8 to 10-4. They kicked the first 3 in the match. So Brisbane have kicked 10 of the last 14. It's a period of domination for the Bears at the moment, 64 to 50. He's a great young player, Neeks. You feel the bigger the occasion, the better the result. 55 metres out, good kick. Oh, what a mark!
Mark of the year. Mark of the year in the last round. Now go on, KB. What do you reckon?
I reckon it was
that is the biggest leap since Modra 2 years ago.
And you called it that night, Robbo's mark of the year.
There was a girl in the crowd behind the goals that night who I think made a bit of money out of the photo.
With that flash that went off?
Yeah. But that mark of the century, we're all even better than Jez's 1970 grand final mark.
I mean, Jez's was iconic, famous, and of course called beautifully by Mike Williamson. There you had Bruce at the peak of his powers. Do you think it's the best mark you've ever seen?
Yeah, I do, actually. A lot of people would say Gary Moorcroft, but I'd give Smith the points because it was taken in a pack. Degree of difficulty might have been a bit better, a bit harder, sorry. So, yeah, I reckon that's the best mark of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my discussion. So is, I must say, they mentioned Modra. There's a Modra mark, I think it was against Carlton, that was just magnificent in the goal square.
Yeah, North Melbourne, I think, at Football Park.
North Melbourne.
Yep.
And there's a capper mark that I absolutely love, which is...
Is that against North Melbourne too at the SCG?
Look, I don't know. It might have been the Fitzroy one,
Yeah,
but
he
it's one
took
where
two.
it's one where he got up into the position
Yeah.
and then came back with the ball beautifully filmed. So
Not the one where he put his hands on Chris Langford and
not
actually
the
drove Langford
perpendicular.
6 feet under.
No, not that one.
All right, now let's get to
And also, one other mark I've got to mention, Nick Riewoldt at that ground SCG
running with the flight of the ball.
is an extraordinary
2004.
mark.
Okay, now we've got a story to tell with this one. The year is 1987. This is Rounds of Our Lives in 3 parts for our crescendo. It's 1987. All manner of finals possibilities are still on the table, a bit like this year. You were treated to, viewers, 4 of the most amazing finishes we've seen in football history, with finals places riding on all of them. Let's start out at the Western Oval. Melbourne haven't made the finals for 23 years, since 1964. It's a ground they perpetually get smashed at. They need to win. They also need Geelong to lose. We'll get to that. They need to beat the Doggies to get in the final 5. Let's have a look. Behind at 3/4 time, let's see what happens.
Who can run like a gazelle and deliver the ball beautifully. Goes long, not without a chance of scoring. Flower! Robbie Flower.
How was that?
Game 271, hardly sighted in the first half. 2 goals in a minute in the third quarter. And another one here would get Melbourne back to within a point.
Melbourne doing well. Beautiful kick by Newport to full forward. Chance for Jackson. Snapshot for goal is good. 55 metres from goal.
Melbourne haven't played in the finals since they last won a premiership in 1964. This could be their year. Stretch a long kick. The siren. The Demons have won it. Melbourne have won a difficult task at the Western Oval. The margin 15 points. And the team which won the night flag could be in the finals, and Robbie Flower might get his last chance. He's announced it's his last season of football.
Okay, well, it's a big moment for the Demons, Finey, but as you heard Drew Morford say, might get his chance, because we're still not sure. Simultaneously, down at Kardinia Park, Geelong are playing Hawthorn. If Hawthorn win, they're a chance to go on top of the ladder and earn a week's break. If Geelong win, they'll be playing finals at Melbourne's expense. The Cats are leading in a high-scoring contest. Classic game of footy, this one. If you get a chance, have a look at it. Geelong are leading late in the piece. They're about a goal and a half up. We're up to, I think, the 29-minute mark, and then this happens.
Well held by Darcy, has taken 4 marks this quarter. Kicks now.
Blind kick though, and Morris read it well. Clears it with a long kick down towards Lester Smith. Over the top of the pack.
Dunstall.
Oh, Jose, what a player in this final term. As Clark's mentioned, he's kicked 3 goals in this final one. It's his 200th league goal in his career. This one coming up. It'll win the game. And it's there, and it's the Hawks by 3 points at the 30-minute mark.
So siren goes a couple of seconds later. Melbourne cue pandemonium at the Western Oval when Melbourne fans are going berserk. Thank you, Jason Dunstall. Hawthorn, pandemonium there, because for a couple of minutes they're on top of the ladder with the week off in the first week of the finals. And so we journey out to Waverley, where Carlton is playing North Melbourne. Both teams, Carlton, if they win, will take top of the ladder. North Melbourne, if they win, and Sydney lose at Victoria Park, where they're playing Fitzroy, and that's neck and neck, will get the double chance. So that game's on a knife's edge as well. North are leading. Fitzroy end up going down to Sydney, so North can't get the double chance, but they've still got the honour of winning this game, well, until this happens.
The double chance. It's a tough kick, and the crowd is hooting. North Melbourne, that is. And every player on the mark of North Melbourne's waving. And look at the goal umpire, the concentration as Kernahan moves in, and he's put it right through the centre, and that is the mark of a champion, and Stephen Kernahan has kicked a great goal, a captain's goal, and what a great game he's played. That was his 6th goal for the match.
Now, it can be prone to a bit of hyperbole in this game, Finey, but
Yep.
that kick won Carlton that premiership.
Yes, I think that's correct.
Explain to our viewers why.
Well, because, I mean, that put them on top of the ladder.
Yep.
Hawthorn would have a heck of a game against Melbourne
In the preliminary final.
Yep.
Yep.
And the week off was perfect because on grand final day it was 29 or 30 degrees.
It was 33. Hottest grand final day in history.
Incredible.
So hot that Michael Tuck
Went
wore
short sleeves. But, you know, with that week off, it was just the year you wanted the week off, incredibly hot, and they took advantage of it.
And that is captaincy at its finest. That was Stix's first year as captain, and that's why he was one of the great captains.
And it was a much better kick than the one that he would attempt against Essendon at the MCG.
A few years later.
Yeah.
Now, I was hoping you'd ask me, was I there?
Was you there?
No, I wasn't. But you know what? It was a great day not to be there because I was actually sitting in the lounge room listening to all these games unfold on 3 different radio stations. Those were the days, Finey, when you had games played simultaneously. And for anyone who loved footy, it was just an incredible afternoon to be a football fan.
You know, with all the programs they've had in place and the youth girls coming through, like I went and watched the Youth Girls Carnival a couple of months ago and I was blown away. Like they were, you know, the skill level and the way they moved the ball was phenomenal. So the skill is definitely there.